each one?
Yep. Hello everyone, here at Glass Monkey today. My name is Aurora Sky, and I'm going to be speaking about my book, which is sold here. It is called Life Lessons Learned from Performing Quantum Hypnosis Technique. So it's found in the shop, and you can also find it on Amazon. Also, we're going to be speaking about the shift of the planet right now, as well as the extraterrestrials that I've been speaking with and being visited by. So to get started, I do Lift On Therapy, which removes trapped emotions and traumas, and Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, QHHT for short, and also I do Reiki healing sessions. And the process for QHHT is anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. And we speak for a good hour and a half about, traumas that you've been through, questions that you want answers from the universe, ancestors that you would like to speak with. And so we go over questions that you've come in with, and then go into detail about your childhood and your upbringing and things like that. And we will get to the answers to all of that by the end of your session. So I spend a good 20 minutes to get you into the theta wave. It's that state that you're already in as you're falling asleep every night and waking up. So it's nothing new. You're not completely asleep either. So you were totally aware the entire time. And then I take you to at least 3 past lives. And from there, I ask for your higher self, angelic team, and guides to come through for answers that you seek. So I first ask the higher self, why did you show this person these 3 lifetimes? What is it that she needs to learn from that? And it's usually typically something that you're playing over and over, like on a hamster wheel with certain people in your life. And if you're ready to release that and heal it, you will no longer attract that into your life. And then when I'm asking the higher self, why does she have these ailments in these certain parts of her body? The higher self knows right away, oh, it's a trapped emotion, or she was, her leg was chopped off in another lifetime and she hasn't healed from that. So once you allow the healing to take place, miracles do happen. I've had so many miracles happen right in front of me, and not only with my clients, with myself. So recently, the scoliosis I had since a child has been healed fully. And it's crazy. I'm not even used to it yet. I'm like, wow, my body doesn't hurt anymore. So my client was in hypnosis and seeing the issue of abandonment. My father had abandoned me as a child and still isn't in my life. So I had that issue, and I know that I attracted relationship after a relationship because of that abandonment issues and codependency and all the things. Well, I was like, well, I'm ready to release this. Which angel can we call in to heal this? And Archangel Raphael and Michael came through, took it to the light, filled my spine with light. And the next day I woke up and I was like, I'm not sore anywhere. And I ran for the first time in my life, which is something I could never do because it would hurt too much. So I get healing from my sessions that I'm performing as well, which is pretty fantastic. But not only that, information comes in about the shift of the planet often. So once I'm talking to their ancestors and guides, I'm asking what is this particular person's role in the ascension? And they'll tell me oh, she or he has these gifts that they've mastered in past lives for this exact time on this planet for this shift to bring them out to help humanity. So a lot of us have these dormant gifts that are coming online when you're ready. I had one client that had a governor on. It's in my book about governors. Had no idea that there's such a thing that on your car where it prevents you from going a certain mileage. Well, we put them on ourselves before we're born because not until you're ready. So my particular client was an oracle in a past life and he had been killed for it. But he wanted to use these gifts in this lifetime, and he didn't want to use it before he was ready before he was consciously ready to use it for good for others. So his higher self said, "You're ready." And he reaches back and he takes it off. And now his gifts are fully online. So things even come up in my sessions that I wasn't even taught in school about. And, and then I just gotta wing it. But yeah, I've discovered just so many things that I would like to share. And that's why I had to put it in a book. I'm gonna read from my book. Let me see. I'm gonna pull a random chapter. I made it short and sweet, so even if you don't like, to read, you can just read 2 pages, soak on the information, soak it up, and think about it before moving on to the next. So, and that we'll have future books as well. So the Earth's transformation, perfect. Lesson 7, and 7's my number. Through these sessions, I have learned that the Earth is now moving into the 4th and 5th density. Other names for Earth is Mother Gaia and Sophia. She is a living, breathing entity and is now going through its transition. The 4th density frequency is above duality, as we are rising above the duality and into the observer mode. We have all signed up to play a role in this ascension. Some are playing the dark role and others the light, for learning and expansion. We will be more heart-centered and of service to others versus service to self as this shift occurs. In the heart center is our connection to Source and all of creation. And there lies the truth that we are all connected. At one point, Earth really was a heaven on earth, and many galactic beings would vacation here. We will be back there again as the old ways of being fall away. What no longer serves the Earth and all her inhabitants will crumble. We have not been living sustainably, taking Earth's resources and forgetting to give back. There is an illusion in the 3rd dimension that we are separate from Source and separate from each other, which in turn creates suffering. To think everything made here was once a thought. We are powerful creators and we shall create a Garden of Eden once more. Humanity has been enslaved by dark archons for millennia, and we are waking up to this fact. We pay to live on a planet we are born on. Nowhere else does this exist in all the galaxies. We have worked ourselves to death just to pay for living expenses. The top 1% have accumulated a lot of wealth, and they are here as service to self. However, it is time that we take our power back and stop playing the victim. It is time for us to save ourselves. We are so much more powerful than we know, and the programming we have been taught has kept us from remembering who we are. We are the Savior we have been looking for. The Christ consciousness will be activated in many humans who are ready to turn their light on and be of service. The high heart chakra thymus above the heart is where this energy center exists in each of us. We all can tap into the density frequency that Jesus was in when he walked in the physical plane. He was in the 4th density state when he existed here. I've since learned a lot about who this being is through my sessions. He travels to many planets to help them ascend to the next level. Many beings have incarnated from a higher density down to this lower one to help with the ascension process. There are 13 dimensions, and as the Earth rises up to the next level, so do all the other souls and beings on all the other levels, as we are all connected. My personal advice is to turn your light switch on. Be kinder to yourself, others, plants, and animals. Drop everything that no longer serves you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you know until you learn it. You awaken at the right time for your soul's growth. Forgiving yourself as well as others will instantly raise your frequency. Some people have simply forgotten who they are and are suffering tremendously. Healing is needed for ancestral traumas, past life traumas, childhood wounds, and everything is going to come to the surface to be healed. I believe that once we balance the light and dark within us, this balancing of duality will naturally occur on the planet. I made the choice to be that change I wish to see, as Gandhi would say. I released the judgment I had about myself for the past, as well as the shame and guilt that were no longer serving me. I felt so much weight being lifted off my body as I did this. It is up to you if you want to continue on with the wars, fears, lack, and suffering, or if you would rather live in truth, love, abundance, and gratitude mindset. Our Creator loves us so much, and it lets us choose. A timeline split will be happening at some point, and some of my clients have gotten downloads of information in their meditation about this and want to ask the higher self this question during the QHHT. Every time the answer is soon. The ones that choose to be in the fourth density get to build a new Earth. The others who choose to carry out the third density will be taken off planet to another star system where they can carry out the hierarchy, greed, power struggles. There are thousands of QHHT practitioners from around the world getting this same information coming in their sessions. And you can research it on YouTube or by investigating other practitioners that I follow, such as Allison Coe, Alba Wyman, Candace Craw Goldman, Quantum Healing Within, and New Earth Ascending. We will have the ability to connect to this collective consciousness through quantum hypnosis or during an inward journey. Are you ready to ascend to the next level of consciousness? So that's just a little chapter from my book. So what I've learned is like everything that humanity has hidden away, the dark shadows, has got to come to the surface in order to heal. You got to look it straight in the face and give it love and understanding. So I know we're seeing a lot of pedophilia and all that stuff coming through your media, and I know it's getting to a lot of empaths and sensitives, and I get it. I totally get it, because I was there at first. Like, I was so depressed and crying all the time. Like, I see all the suffering, but at this point you've got just to observe. Like, it was all for learning and expansion, and we've got to keep giving our energy to what we want to create. That's how it works. So where your energy flows, it goes, and we need to create a better future, one that works for everyone. Let's see, what else? So galactic visitors. I've since speaking to a lot of galactic beings through my sessions, and it comes through that me and my clients even know each other. We get beamed up on a ship apparently at night. I'm on the Church Council of Orion, and they see that we're on like in a round table and discussing Earth at this time, and we were seeing it like, I don't know, like she's not like a TV, but she sees it like holographic, and she even sees my body there holographically. Like, all of our body cannot be put onto the ship. But this last session was pretty unique, and she saw us all talking, and she's like, man, it seems like she's looking, and it looks like the Three Stooges down here, and we think we have it figured out, and we really don't. And she's laughing so hard while in hypnosis, and it had me cracking up too. But me and her chose to come here to transmute family traumas. So before we come down here, we choose what family we want to come into, and only like the master souls will choose to come in the hardest things. I came through molestation, abandonment from my father, living, in a poor neighborhood, and that survival mode. I had to transmute all of this in order to be the person I am today. So I'm grateful for all the hardships, because it's actually helped me help others come out of it and give them hope. There's definitely hope, and if you're willing to do the work, it's a lot of inner work. You can't wait for something outside of yourself to heal you. You've got to look it straight in the eye and be like, okay, I've learned a lot from that. I forgive that person for doing that thing to me, and we got to stop being the victim. And that was me for a long time, so I get it. So ETs channel through my clients all the time because they are from that star system. I've spoke to Arcturians first, so the first ones that came through a session. Pleiadians, Orions, Lyrans. I'm from Lyra as well. They're they're lions, and they stand tall there, and it's all heart-centered. So there's a lot of other star systems where we don't have the 3D, the light and the dark, and it's just light all the time, which is amazing, but how much can you learn from that, right? So you choose to come to other planets that might be at a lower density to expand your consciousness. And apparently I'm one of those souls that loves to go and explore. I'm an explorer race. So since speaking to them, they show up at my house, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. This recent place that I moved to, I got woken up at 2 in the morning, and my door flew open, and then I go and to shut it, and I hear that my door to the outdoors is open too. And I walk out there, and I look up, and the moon's right there, and I feel like I'm so grounded into my body. I was like, what the heck? Who's visiting me now? I wish I was person that saw them. I'm always hearing and feeling things and sensing that way. There's different ways, clairaudience, clairvoyance. So I wanted to know who was the visitor. So a week later, I had a quantum session, and it came through that the Mintakans came to visit me, and they said I was not grounded at the time and getting a little down, so they shot love energy, and she saw them like hovering above my balcony, shooting my door open, both doors open at the same time. And I was grounded. Like, I was so awake that I couldn't even go back to sleep, and it was like 2 a.m, and I'm like, what just it was wild. A few months ago, I had Hathor visit me. So I'm working with ancient divine feminine leaders from Egypt. So Hathor has been working with me, and she's all about rebirth, and that's the name of my events, rebirth, but spelled E-A-R-T-H. But yeah, so I'm here to help this transition with Earth to the 5th density, which is the heart-centered oneness, connection with everything, knowing your worth, knowing that you are a part of the Creator. And so most of us are visitors to Earth. We're not from Earth. I've been here over 930 lifetimes since the beginning. My clients have seen me as mitochondrial Eve. I had to research that. I didn't know what that meant, but that means I was one of the first beings that chose to come down here and explore. And I have visions of when it was so pure and light, and we just went a wrong direction. And I want to talk about the 7 resets that's happened on this planet. So this isn't the first shift that we've gone through like this, but this is the highest frequency we have been at. So even we're going to be ascending to past what we were in Atlantis, which is pretty wild to think. So the first age, the 7 great ages resets, the age of divine descent, when beings of light first incarnated into matter. And then 2nd age, the rise of Atlantis, where advanced consciousness and technology merged. 3rd age, the first fall, where misuse of energy led to great wars and the partial destruction of Atlantis. And then we were flooded by the Pleiadians, so I could go another direction with that. 4th age, the 2nd Atlantean phase, rebuilding and experimenting again. And then 5th age, the post-deluge civilization in Egypt, Vedic, seeding wisdom in a world recovering. 6th age, the age of separation, where materialism and ego eclipse higher awareness. That's what we've been in, with the consumerism and all for ourselves and things. And then this is the reset, the time of reintegration, ascension, and remembrance, the return of the gods within us. In the time when the soul shall awaken, the veils shall be lifted, and the earth shall be reborn into light. And one of my favorite books I really highly recommend, besides my own book, is the Illumination Codex. Michael does similar quantum sessions. He calls it IQH instead of QHHT. And I wish I had done this in the beginning and put all my sessions into this. It's the question the practitioner asks and the answers. The truth of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, all the lost knowledge is in this book, and it just made me tingle while I was reading it. This is the fastest book I've ever read. I was just it's just remembering what you already know, really. So let me see. I'm going to read from Awakening in the Matrix. As we begin to awaken to the light and love of Source, to the light of your own soul, we awaken within the dream we call life. The awakening process is called ascension. During the process, we question everything we believe. We begin to sort through all our internal rubble to uncover the divine self that lives within. This process begins our exodus from the mundane mainstream consciousness and initiates us into the mysteries of creation. We save ourselves from our own karma and mental trappings by reaching for the higher knowledge of the divine. This reaching for the higher understanding is crucial to begin the process of ascension and awakening. As a new initiate, we begin to notice the programming in the people and world around us. The illusion seems to lose its luster. The games we used to play and roles we used to act out do not interest us much. Many of us have felt completely alone, as most of the world is focused on the illusion, the phenomenal illusory world of form, and not the spiritual quest. They are asleep within the dream. This is perfectly fine, as every soul designs a time when they will begin to awaken to their divinity and the higher realms of light. This awakening process is well on its way for millions of people around the world. What once was only available for the mystics, sages, and spiritual masters throughout time is available for all people who desire to grow in light and love and evolve into a higher heart-centered consciousness. Can't you feel the quickening of transformation occurring in your own life and across the planet? While some look at the conditions of the world and see destruction, others look and see a healing crisis as all of humanity faces its karmic shadow. Nothing can stay hidden anymore, and all will be brought into the light as we shift into the earth reality. So, speaking of judgment, we need to not judge those that are not awake yet. I was not awake at some point. So I'm seeing a lot of it on Facebook, people saying, oh my gosh, why don't you think Trump's good for what he's doing to humanity and this and that. All y'all are stupid because you're not awake. Like, that's only keeping you in that 3D mindset. The karmic shadow that we're all dealing with, like a lot of my clients that are healers now, they've been killers in past lives. I had one, she went to a lifetime where she had this laser gun and was shooting all these people, and she wakes up and she's like, I'm not even 4 guns at all, and here I am in another lifetime shooting people. So like, we've all played both sides of the coin, so we've got to stop the judgment. It will definitely keep you in suffering and third density. We are all one. So let's see, I typed up what the old energy of 3D is and new energy. I get downloads and they come through me faster than I can even type. Old energy of 3D is separation, set in belief systems, competition, controlled by thoughts, connected with technology, consumerism, judgment of self and others, codependency, service to self, and fear-based decisions. The new energy that's coming in is unity consciousness, open-minded to new ideas, collaboration, mindfulness, connection with nature, gratitude for what you have now, non-judgment, and independence, service to others, and love-based decisions. So it's up to you for how long you want to continue the 3D and suffering. And information has come through that like more than half the population is not going to choose to ascend, and that's okay. There is no hell that you're going to. That doesn't even exist. Just the hell you create with your own mind right now. And there's only like 2 more planets where you can go to and do the 3D. So there's not many options left. But we'll all meet back up at source again. You're just gonna, gonna take a little longer, and it might not, your family might not be going with you. And you have to let that go, that non-attachment. That's what I've been learning the last few years. I've lost a lot of family members, and they visit me now, so they're not gone at all. But we've got to release non-attachment to any person in your life, anything. Like your happiness doesn't depend on them or the thing that you have. Once we've released attachment, forgiven ourselves for everything we've done, forgiven others, and be of service, that's all you need to ascend. You don't need to believe in a certain religion or anything. That's the things. That's the stuff that comes through constantly for my client, because they're like, they can't forgive themselves because they think they did something so horrible and God would never love them, and it's not the case. You came down here just to learn and expand from it. And the number one question my clients come in with is, am I off the path? Even when you go off the path, it will lead you to the path. So there's really no getting it wrong. The only thing is the earth is choosing to move into the 5th density, and if you're not rising with her, then you're getting booted off. If you're trashing her waters, just leaving trash everywhere, that's not the energy she wants on her planet anymore. And also, my clients want to see the future, so their higher self will show them after the shift what it looks like on Earth. And they say that we're living in tree houses, and we only make structures that's for the planet, like almost like made of mushrooms or something, built into the side of the Earth. And they've seen ivy and shrubbery over it. And apparently we're all nude. My client saw me standing there nude in the session, which is wild to hear. I'm like, yeah, so it is the Garden of Eden again, and we don't have to work, 9 to 5 jobs. There's no time. We made up that's a slavery mentality to be somewhere at a certain time. time is an illusion, and it's all happening now. That's how my clients are able to go to the past and the future during their sessions. And what else? Just that we spend time creating in the future, and there's colors that we haven't seen. There is fruit that don't exist yet. 2 different clients said, one said it was an apple with like a custard in the middle, and it sounds really lovely. And then an orange that has like honey in the center, a honey custard in the center. And we feel so and live abundantly. Like when we take one fruit, 10 more fruit appear, like, because it's our mindset, our consciousness creates our reality, legit. So in the future we have no lack and limitations, so things just come easily. And as the shift takes place, we're going to start having more telepathic abilities, which I've already have friends saying that they're just like, it's happening already. They'll be in the grocery store and know what the next person's thinking next to them. I have a friend that was at the gym and knows what this person was thinking. So it's freaking, it's freaking people out right now, but that's our natural state. We used to be telepathic. We're just tapping into it more. Our DNA is being upgraded right now. It's going to be noticeable who is with the light, who's with the dark, because the veil is thinning right now. And I'm noticing it in my own life. It's like, wow, like, how did I not notice it before, you know? So as the veil thins, you're just going to know. And people are falling out of your life for a reason, and new ones are coming in for a reason. More soul families coming together right now. I was told that me and my cousin are soul family, and we've got 4 more people coming in from our soul family that came here for a mission. And if you're not sure what that mission is, you can do astrology. You can do astrology, and it'll tell you what you signed up for this lifetime, what you still got to heal from. All of that's in your astrology. So yeah, you chose the time and date when to be born for a reason. The stars were aligned for your birth. And yeah, so it's a beautiful future. So have hope. It's going to get crazy first. Like I said, everything has to come to the surface. And the earth is releasing energy as well. So that's why we got so many earthquakes and volcanoes. That's that anger, humanity's anger. It goes into the earth. It's got to be released somehow. Just like how we have to, somatically shake or something to release energy. That's just what she's doing. She's a living, breathing being and has to release that energy from us. So lots of land masses will be changing. My clients have seen in sessions. Like, I think California's going to break off. Like, I would not be in Florida, eventually going to be flooding, New York, all those areas. And as the snow melts, the caps, it's going to reveal some things that's been hidden too, which is pretty cool. So structures that have been hidden for a long time, scrolls and things. So that's coming. And galactic beings are going to start visiting us. It came up in a session recently, 2026. So my Pleiadian family is going to be showing up. I think it was over Cincinnati. My client's like, I asked, what's the next step for the ascension for Cincinnati particularly? And he said, wow, I'm under a ship and it's ginormous and it's over Cincinnati and it's our Pleiadian family. And then I asked about my Arcturian family. When are they going to be here? And said, like on the other side of the planet the same year. So they're going to start showing themselves. They were waiting till our consciousness was at a certain level because it can cause more harm than not if they come in too soon. So it's gonna shake up people's reality a lot, but they are gonna give us our true history of this planet. So don't be scared. Like, they're our family. A lot of us are from these planets that our families, visiting from. So I'll be the first one to step right up to the ship and be like, hey, let's talk. Take me to your leader. Yeah, so it's all for the greater good, them coming. So don't be worried. And the dark beings that are here that are controlling all of humanity, they're from a star system where they've ruined their own planet, and they keep going to other planets where they use us as like the loosh, like harvest and feed off of our fears and keep us in the mindset of separation so we can keep feeding them. Yeah, don't fall for it. I think a lot of us are not falling for the stuff that's in the media and stuff anymore. So just keep your frequency up, turn your TVs off, please. Take time to go out in nature and ground with the earth, listen to her. The trees can talk to you. So set back against the tree and see what it has to tell you. Like, they hold wisdom. Some of us chose to come in as a tree first to get used to the density on Earth. I had a client that came in as a tree, as an animal, as a rock, which sounds very boring, but you'll do that to get used to the density down here. Highly recommend spending time to meditate in the morning and the evening. The more you do this, you're going to raise your frequency, and it's like a channel that you will raise up, and then your light family will have to lower their frequency to meet you in order for information to come through. We can all channel. That's why my clients channel through every quantum session. We all have this ability. I have this ability. I've done it many times. To keep your frequency high, you've got to stop eating the processed foods, the alcohol, anything that is gonna mess with your system, and it will clog your third eye so you don't see correctly. Negative thoughts. I know that's hard to do, but we gotta reroute. It's like reprogram our system. So the people you hang out with, that's affecting your vibration frequency. The movies you watch, all the things is affecting your frequency. Just notice when you cut the things out how you feel. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And since I've cut some old stuff out that I used to do, I've been feeling amazing, and I will bliss out with no substance, and it's possible. I'll just be driving along and noticing the beauty of everyone around me, and look at people's eyes and like see their pureness, is in there, even though they've forgotten who they are. My goal is to remind them of who they are. And don't forget about your inner child. Your inner child is craving some playtime. We didn't come here to be slaves. We came here to play and create. So do more of that. Take time to just be, not do. I know we have this mindset that we got to do, and we got to show, our worthiness by doing all this thing and getting the certification. And I got, all these. It's all lies. You are worthy just as you are right now without doing a dang thing. So the more that you raise your frequency, you're affecting people. When you go out and about in the public, this is how a client has seen it. So like you're at the grocery store and you're not saying anything to anyone, you're just walking along, but your frequency is high. This person here was about to steal something, but your frequency being there, they made a different choice. That's how your light spreads. It like literally sends little light codes to other people without them even consciously knowing. So you're shifting timelines for people just with your light. Okay. All right. Well, I'm open to questions now. If anybody wants to ask me questions. I know it was a lot of information in a short period of time, but I want to get it all out. So, anything about that? Gary?
My perception currently, which has been more recently, is definitely feeling the transitional period.
Yeah, transition. Yeah.
That is going on. And I think when you can truly perceive that you are the soul, the spirit, the energy that has occupied this cellular density to move through these processes that I call educational experiences, that I have chosen. And I also do agree with you that if you can maintain in that type of frequency thought, you cannot help but energize others in high frequency.
Yeah.
Because energy, and the other thing I love, energy attracts that type of energy. So as I have moved into this process, I love the entities that it is drawing me to, whether they're currently in this dimension or another.
Right. Yeah. They can also do the another effect where like your light will shine light on other people's shadows, and they will not like that. So it might repel them in a way. So that's happening as well at the same time. I've noticed that with me. Like people were like not like, just not liking what I have to say or my energy vibe. And I'm like, oh, there must be some kind of shadow that they're working with. That's okay. I don't have to be liked or loved as long as I love me. That's all that matters. But yeah, it can definitely spark, light on their shadows, and they're like, oh no, I don't want to look at those. Do you have a question?
Do you think it's beneficial to do like only one QHHT session, or multiple sessions, something that's needed?
So technically, you really only need one, unless later on down the road there's some more trauma that's coming to the surface. But so many answers to your questions take place in that one session that most of the time people only come for once. I have had several that come for 2 and 3 times, and as you do level up every time. So
it's really interesting because as you were talking, I did a QHHT with you, and you were talking about how your higher self would know what it is to fix you. And I remember that I said or whatever that walking was something that I needed, or running. And legitimately, I have been doing that recently. Yeah. And it has been helping. And I just put that together as you were saying that.
Yeah.
I had remembered that, and it really has helped me, honestly.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's all about that energy flow. So our energy can get stagnant throughout our chakras. If you were talking about the Kundalini, if you ever heard about the Kundalini, like that snake, so once the energy is flowing through all your chakras, they're all balanced. This pops open, your crown pops open, and that's when you become like Yeshua was here, the all-knowing and seeing. You'll be seeing beyond the veil. So, yeah, getting the body moving. We're too stagnant. We're sitting too much.
So I didn't put the two together.
Yeah.
When you were saying that, I was like, oh my gosh, I literally just started running, ballet and all of that, and it's helped me a lot.
Good. Yeah. And how many years ago was it, the session?
I mean, maybe 5.
Yeah?
Or
you just know?
Yes.
Okay.
So awesome.
Sometimes it takes time. But some clients have contacted me after, a year or 2 after the session. They're like, oh my gosh, since the session, this is what happened. And my higher self said to go to school for this, and now I'm almost graduating from psychology and this and that. I love to hear back from my clients telling me how that shifted them. It's amazing. And it's not me really doing it. It's just me getting them in that state, their higher self allowing the healing to take place. And so I'm just, creating a space, a safe space for you to do the healing. And then the healing work happens within you. Yeah.
I think that's the other important thing to realize is the only way this healing process is going to take place is when one goes inside themselves and realizes you are the true healer.
Yeah.
And I think that also realizing that anyone can be in a high frequency state of thought, and it should not have to matter about your material wealth.
Oh yeah, for sure. There are beings just as high frequency as Yeshua was, actually higher. I watch channelers every day to see what their stuff's matching with my QHHT. She said in the last 3 months, there are over 7 beings on this planet that it's at a higher density than Yeshua was when he was here. So at the 7th density, but that's the highest we can go to be embodied in a body still and have our frequency high. And how that affects us is the more beings that are raising up, it's gonna spread. So yeah, that means the darkness is gonna be lowering and lowering. And you can muscle test how much light you're holding right now. I've done it for friends too. You just gotta be 51% service to others to ascend. But so you can muscle test by swaying forward, say I'm at 30% light, or backwards means no, typically. So, or there's ways of doing it this way. So you can see how much light you hold. The more you heal your traumas and things, you get lighter and lighter naturally. I was gonna, let's see, I have something else about that.
Another thing I'd like to add.
Yeah.
I think it's also very important as moving into this process of higher frequencies is more than just meditating. In this process that we're in, this earth dimension, I think it's very important to watch how you're eating. What is the body consuming?
Oh yeah.
And when you say that, the body consumes in many different ways. Yes, it consumes from what I put into my mouth and eat, but I also am consuming energies. So what type of energies am I allowing myself to be around?
Yeah.
And so I think, in yoga teaches you this, well, it's all about balance. That's really where I feel I have been very successful, is looking at myself more than just one issue. There's issues that I have to come in balance with.
Yeah.
And when I can balance the issues, I balance myself.
Right. Which then balances other people around you.
Yes.
They'll notice your energy's balanced and that you're doing more observing than getting, caught up in the chaos.
And that observance.
Yeah.
Once I observe it, I need to realize that I need to go take care of that.
Yeah.
So when I meditate, I try to go into the subconscious as if I am a computer operating. And I'm going in and I'm removing any little disc that I feel is a bad habit that I have developed over my time span.
Yeah.
And now that I've acquired that, I don't want to be that type of person anymore.
Install new program.
So I think looking at ourselves as computers, what am I putting in?
Input, output.
And what am I going after to take out?
Yeah.
So I could have all these different variances. Which one am I going to choose to change and create a better me
Yeah.
out of?
That's beautiful. That's if we all thought like that, like stop blaming others and the relationships we're attracting and my mom and did this and all that. Like, what have I learned from it, one, and how am I going to make it better? And the more you heal yourself, your relationships around you are going to change naturally. When you were triggered before, you're just no longer triggered, and that's what's happened in my case. Less triggering. If you do get triggered, think about it for a second. Why am I getting triggered? What am I really feeling? When's the first time I actually felt that? Like, some people regress back to when they were 5 years old and this happened. Like, it's there. It's all in your subconscious. It holds all the information. Not only this lifetime, all your past lives. And we've accumulated a little trauma along the way. So I've had a lot to clear over 900 lifetimes. I got a little sidetracked. A lot of information about my past lives come through my clients because we've lived together, and apparently I've had a cult in Asia at one point, and then I was a nun, and I was I had all these vows of poverty. I thought I had to be poor in that lifetime to be holy. So that vow was affecting me in this lifetime, and so I had to clear that. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So I printed this up. It says, how can you ascend? In time, everyone can experience enlightenment and ascension and reconnect with who they really are, but there's no shortcut. The easiest way is to start to simply be kind, live with an open, curious heart, speak your truth, seek truth, think for yourself, meet and respond to life as much as possible, and don't make anyone your guru. This ascension definition is known by many spiritual seekers, yet there's a reason why teachers don't try to influence the masses. You see, the process of enlightenment and ascension cannot be taught or done for you, though others may act as catalysts for you or provide inspiration. We're all just walking each other home. Using this ascension definition, you must sincerely seek enlightenment for yourself. You must choose the ascension path or raise your vibration or draw down your DNA, call it what you will, using your own free will. There's no scientific way to measure, except for the measurement of the light and the dark, of how much is in your physical vessel. All we can do is choose to be conscious in each moment and adopt the qualities that are closer to love, forgiveness over blame, honoring another's free will, even if it's hard, and saying no to the part of your life that you don't want. I believe that part of becoming enlightened is letting go for the need for the absolute truth and be comfortable with the paradox. The truth is, no one really knows, and no one can prove any ascension definition, so always go back to the heart. Thank you for listening.